What is the public forum doctrine? Explained. Imagine walking down a busy city street or relaxing in a park and feeling free to express your thoughts openly. That's what the public forum doctrine is all about. It helps us understand where we can speak freely and when the government can limit that speech. This doctrine is a set of rules used to decide if government restrictions on speech are fair or not. It focuses on places owned by the government that are meant for public use, like streets, parks, and sidewalks. These areas are called traditional public forums because they have long been open for people to gather and share ideas. In these traditional public forums, the government can only limit speech if the restrictions are neutral about the message and serve a strong public interest. For example, if someone is protesting or handing out flyers, the government can set rules about when and where they can do that, but they cannot stop the speech just because they disagree with the message. Restrictions must be fair and not target specific viewpoints. The doctrine also covers designated public forums. These are places the government intentionally opens for free speech, like a university's free speech zone or a public library meeting room. Once the government opens these spaces for expression, they must treat them like traditional public forums, meaning restrictions are limited. Limited public forums are a bit different. These are spaces the government opens for certain groups or topics but not everyone. For example, a city might allow certain groups to use a community hall but restrict others. The government must be neutral about who can speak and what they can say, but they can set reasonable rules about the content. Non-public forums are places the government owns but does not usually allow for public expression, like military bases or internal government offices. In these areas, the government has more freedom to restrict speech, as long as the rules are reasonable and not based on disliking the message. This idea started with a Supreme Court case called Hague versus the Committee for Industrial Organization in 1939. The court recognized that streets and parks are for public use, including speech and gathering. Over time, courts refined how they apply these rules to different types of government property. Knowing the public forum doctrine helps you understand your rights to speak freely. If you want to protest or share ideas in a park or on a street, the government's ability to limit you is limited and must follow strict rules. But if you're on government property that is not open to the public, like a military base, the government can set broader rules. In practice, this means you have strong protections in places like streets and parks. The government cannot favor or silence certain viewpoints in these areas. They can only impose reasonable rules about when and how you speak. In places that are not public forums, restrictions are easier for the government to justify. Knowing these differences helps you see when your free speech rights are protected and when restrictions might be lawful. It's a key part of understanding your civil liberties and how to stand up for your right to express yourself.